Hello guys, today I have a review for you of the Lethal Gaming Gear LA-1. This is a medium to small budget-ish mouse for FPS players. This unit was provided by Lethal Gaming, so huge thanks to them, but of course all thoughts are mine. Let's get into it. This mouse comes with the cable that I'm not using at the moment, a 1kHz dongle, a small manual for onboard memory settings, and I do have a 4K dongle here, which Little also provided, but that's a separate purchase. You would think the dongle would have a screen with the design, but no, it's only a LED. I'm not sure if the mouse is just textured plastic or it has an actual coating, but the grip level is alright. Not the grippiest, but not the worst I've seen either. I have sweaty hands, so after a couple of hours it starts being a bit slippery, but not terrible. If you ever tried the OG Ninjutsu Sora, it feels like that mouse. Now, sadly, one of the weak points of this mouse are the clicks. The switch itself is good, but there is a large amount of pre-travel on these clicks, so much that it was almost a deal breaker for me. I got used to it, but it was pretty distracting with click timing. There seems to be a pretty small amount of post-travel though, so maybe in the future the clicks could be calibrated for a bit less pre-travel, even if it comes at the cost of post-travel. It's a shame really, because this mouse is solid in all other aspects. And here is a click sound test. Now, I spoke with Little and they said it was a combination of unit variance coupled with where I was clicking, and also inconsistency with actuation due to the comfort group design. And they say that it should be fixed on an upcoming version. Now, the side buttons are S tier. They have very little pre and post travel and very solid switch feel. If the main clicks were as good as the side buttons, this mouse would be the king of the price point. I hope it's just this unit that has these main clicks like this. And here is a sound test for the side buttons. The scroll wheel is solid too, it's well defined, not too loud, and no issues with the scroll click. And here's the sound test for the scroll wheel. As for build quality, this batch does have a flex issue on the sides near the bottom. It wasn't noticeable in game at all, and I have to squeeze the mouse more than I would usually to feel it. So if you were looking at this mouse and the flex issue is concerning, rest assured it's not a big deal. The skates are a typical Sawi style and seemed pretty balanced at first, but after using them for a while they're a bit too slow on this glass pad for my liking. And I will be testing different glass pad dots and comparing them, so subscribe if you want to see that comparison video. The sensor is pretty much flawless as most modern gaming mice, and I haven't had any spinouts or skips on a glass pad, so this 3395 implementation is great. This mouse is advertised at 52 grams and comes in at 53, and the weight is balanced around the sensor. And the shape feels pretty unique, even though it looks like a Lance Atlantis Mini or a Ninjutsu Sora. but it has many different adjustments that in my opinion make it superior to those mice. Maybe I would describe it as a slightly larger and more sensible Viper Mini. When I compare it to the Atlantis or Sora, it has a narrower back, which helps with agility in my grip. It is overall narrower than those two, or at least it feels like that. Also, the sides are straighter, so it doesn't have that uncomfortable flare out at the front. That, coupled with a low button height, makes this mouse pretty good for comfort and aiming. For my grip style, hand size and hand shape, that's a pretty rare combination. Usually it's one or the other, so this is one of the few comfortable and agile shapes for me. Even though it's not the best I aim with, it's up there. And here is a comparison with the Lamso Atlantis Mini and MM712, which by the way has horrible QC, don't buy it. As for the battery, on 1K Hz it lasts about 5 days on moderate use and about 2.5 on 4K, which seems average to other mice I have tried. The website says it is a 250 mAh battery. One of the other good things about this mouse is that you can control the most important settings from the buttons at the bottom of the mouse, that being the polling rate and the DPI. And if you want to use the software, that's also an option. And the software is pretty solid, and I didn't have any issues with the software itself, but I did have an issue with the onboard memory of the dongle, where it is supposed to tell you the battery level of the mouse with a certain color in this LED, and in one occasion it was showing a full battery level, but when I opened the software to check something, it jumped to a low battery level, which is what it actually was. And it only happened once, so probably won't happen to you. Here in the software we have all our button assignments, our DPI and polling rate. This is on steps of 100 it seems. Yep. You have your macros, your other mouse settings. And as for connectivity, you only have the option of 2.4 GHz with either the 1K or 4K Hz dongle, so no Bluetooth if you need that. Speaking of 4K Hz, as I mentioned in my Lamso Atlantis Mini review, some people say they can't tell the difference, but I can on my 540Hz monitor at least. The difference feels as much as between 500 and 1000 Hz polling rate, and you only feel it when switching directions, since the actual polling rate will not be at its full potential, and instead of being, for example, 250 when set at 1000 Hz, it would be 1000 Hz when set at 4K. Of course, it's not a day and night difference, and not strictly necessary, but the difference is there. In conclusion, this mouse has the potential to be an S-tier banger, especially at the price point of $60. But the excessive amount of pre-travel is a bit too much for me. If it turns out it's just this unit and not every mouse, then it would be a no-brainer purchase. But I don't have another copy to compare to, so if you are sensitive to pre-travel on the main clicks, then you might have to look at other options. Otherwise, enjoy this solid mouse. That would be all for today, and thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and sub if you like the video, and feel free to ask any questions or give any suggestions in the comments. Bye bye.